Two people are feared dead in a clash between members of the Konkumba and Agomba ethnic groups at the Konkumba market, Yam Market near Gbogboleshi here in Accra. A pregnant woman who was shot in the chest is said to be in critical condition. Ethnic tensions and violent disagreements at the Konkumba market have often resulted in such bloody confrontations. Joining us, Favor Nunu is in the area monitoring events and joins me live. Hello, Favor. What do we know about how this clash occurred? It appears we have lost Favor on the line. I'll try and reach him, but these are some visuals we're getting from the area. Now you can see police deployments there in their vehicles and wielding weapons to try and bring some sanity to the area and avert further clashes between the two ethnic groups. But the story is that two people are feared dead in this particular clash. It started sometime on Monday and it's festered all through until today. We do have Favor on the line now, so let's get on to the phone lines and speak with Favor. Favor, now kindly tell us, what do we know about how this clash occurred?
Hello?
Yes, Favor, this is Israel.
The line is a bit faint. I'm having a challenge hearing, but I presume you'd like to know the latest. What is happening, what has been happening is that the police have moved here with reinforcement as well as the military. It's actually the joint teams that have moved on the ground here at the Konkumba market, the Konkumba Yam market. And sort of some calm has been restored as it stands now, but the perpetrators of this sanction, this fine, have not been apprehended yet. No arrests have been made as it stands now. We only know that some persons have been injured. Two persons feared dead and a number of them injured, with one pregnant woman in critical condition.
How do we know this thing to have started? How did it all start?
Well, what we are told started this was that there was a case of theft involving a gentleman from one of the two ethnic that reside within the state. There are Kokumbas and there are the Dagombas in this state. We understand that one of the tribe's men, that is either a Kokumba or a Nadumba person, or a Dagomba person, stole a phone and was found out by the resident and attacked, beaten. What happens is that this person moved to the end of his ethnic group, and they were disappointed or unhappy about the extent to which he was beaten. And so they mobilized forces and then marched to the ends of the other ethnic group and then launched attacks on them. We understand that this morning the police service came here to effect some arrests, only arrests in the morning, and then left. But by afternoon, that's about 3 or 2 p.m. thereabouts, tensions degenerated into the exchange or firing of arms, so that the Dagombas, we understand, who had weapons, who wielded weapons, started firing into the space of the area where the Kokumbas reside, in the Yam Market area. And so everyone around had to grab the child or grab what you need to grab and then run for your life. So there was this free-for-all. Some were retaliating by trying to fight back, while others were trying to escape for their lives. So there was pandemonium everywhere, everyone running, was accepting what would happen next. And so one of the persons who was present and experienced all of this tells me that he saw men wielding machetes too. And so if you're not gunned or you're not being beaten up, you may find yourself with someone slashed with a machete. He even tells me that there's a gentleman who was smashed with a machete in the head, and you could see the gaping wound in there. And so he even fears that that person could probably lose his life, even if he makes it to the hospital. And so that is what happened this afternoon. And so the police, upon getting information about this happening, moved here. But their initial entry into the Yam Market area, Kokumba, was such that their numbers were few. And so it was really impossible for them to overpower the residents who were armed to the teeth with all sorts of weapons, including AK-47s. And so they had to then call for reinforcement. The reinforcement came later on, and it's been quite sketchy. It was a bit uncertain what will happen. I can see people running away right now. I don't know what the scene is, but they just sped off, probably scared by a police or a security personnel cautioning them to stay away from some barricades that's been formed. So back to the issue, Israel. So the police then brought reinforcements, and I could see military persons moving in droves, in their numbers, in 20s and in 20s and in 10s, coming in out, groups. Before we realized there was quite a number of them. Then, as the whole place was flooded with market women, residents, strangers, media persons, we realized that some tear gas was shot into the air, and then suddenly everyone ran into hiding in order to be able to catch some fresh air. And so while this happened, immediately the police then, realizing that the space had been opened, had the military march into the Kokumba Yam Market and deep into the Kokumba slum itself to effect arrest. Some of the police persons that I've spoken to off the record say they are currently trying to gather intelligence to be able to deal with the situation. So this is actually what's been happening here, Israel.
All right, thank you very much, Favor Nunu, bringing us up to speed there with that development at the Kokumba Yam Market near Agogoloshi here in Accra. The news is that 2 people are feared dead in that clash. It's been a bloody clash. A pregnant woman who was shot in the chest is said to be in critical conditions. We're trying to reach the police to get some confirmation as to the number of casualties that occurred there, but tensions and violent disagreements at the Kokumba Yam Market have often resulted in such bloody confrontations. And Favor Nunu will remain in the area and will be bringing you updates as and when they become available. But moving on to other stories, 13 members of the pro-MPP vigilante group Delta Force, who were illegally freed by their colleagues from a court last week, have been fined about 2,400 cedis each. The 13 who turned themselves in after the incident were arraigned in court on Tuesday on a fresh charge of escaping from lawful custody, to which they all pleaded guilty. They will serve a 3-year jail term if they fail to pay the fine. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin spoke to one of the lawyers, Matthew Apia, after the hearing on Tuesday.
They have pleaded guilty to the offense of escaping from lawful custody. Yes, and the judge has convicted and sentenced them, and they are yet to pay the fine, and they have been taken away by the police. So we make arrangements, maybe in the course of the day or by tomorrow, we'll be able to get the fine paid, and then we get our clients back. The court fined each accused person 200 penalty units, and each penalty unit is 12 cedis. So if you multiply the 200 by the penalty units, that is to say the 200, each accused person was fined 2,400 Ghana cedis. So looking at the circumstance of the case, we will say that is enough, because the accused persons have actually shown remorse, because what happened at the circuit court at the last time was not the best. So they surrendered themselves to the police, and the judge looked at all these mitigation factors in sentencing them, because it was not the police officers who had to run and go and look for them. They submitted themselves to the police, and the judge in passing sentence alluded to this fact, that they surrendered themselves and they have pleaded guilty. They have shown remorse that what they did was not right, and the judge looked at all these factors in coming to that conclusion. In total, the sentence of the judge was this: look, each person is fined 2,400. In addition, you are to sign a bond to be of good behavior for 6 months. If within the 6 months you commit any offense, then you go to jail for 3 years. So if they pay the fine, they are free to go. But yes, within the 6-month period, they are to be of good behavior, and to comport themselves, and not to do anything that will trigger a police action or prosecution or any matter in that sense. So yes, they are free for now, but within the 6 months, they are to comport themselves in order.
Now, the Inspector General of Police, David Asante-Pietu, says the Ghana Police Service will undergo a transformational phase to make it more innovative and accountable to the people of Ghana, and also to keep alive the vision of the service. Areas to experience this transformation include the Criminal Investigations Department, Community Policing Unit, and officers at the front line.
The police administration under my leadership, with the support of the Interior Minister and the government as a whole, has begun a program to transform the Ghana Police Service in line with modern democratic policing principles. We intend to make the police more innovative, responsive, accountable to the law and the people of Ghana. This transformation agenda is anchored on the 13 strategic goals outlined by the government to reshape the Ghana Police. The agenda will be rolled out using 5 thematic pillars: the Criminal Investigations Department, community policing, welfare of the officer on the ground or in the front line, police intelligence and professional standards bureau, with information communication technology as an accelerator. All these are being done to keep alive our vision to become a world-class police service capable of delivering planned, democratic, protective, and peaceful services up to the standards of international best practices.
He was speaking at the award of 31 scholarships to wards of martyrs in the police, immigration and prison service by the Lebanese community in Ghana. The Lebanese scholarship program has been in existence for the past 5 years.
I am aware of your government unflinching support to providing free and quality education to all young people of school-going age in Ghana. The Lebanese community shares in your government's vision and will continue to support these students who will contribute to the development of the country.
Some of the beneficiaries spoke to Joy News.
Thank you for giving me a scholarship to continue my school.
I'm very happy because you being in school and then going through the stress of getting money to pay your fees and all that, and then it has been provided for you. I feel very happy today.
Watching Joy News Prime, we're taking a break now, but when we come back, we'll be going back to the Konkomba market where there's been a clash there. 2 people we know are feared dead. We'll be getting a reaction from the police. Do stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit. On Accra High Court Tuesday continued hearing the case in which 40 members of parliament are suing the state for more than 230,000 cedis. The former MPs, including current Senior Minister Yosafo Mafo and acting chairman of the governing New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blame, are demanding the amount they say is due them as pensions the state failed to pay when they exited Parliament in 2008. The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission had applied to join the suit, but the request was turned down by the court, presided over by Gifty Dechem. There is more in this report.
The commission had on March 29 filed an application at the High Court asking that they be allowed to join the suit. Their lawyers had argued inclusion in the matter will assist the court in the resolution of a dispute. Lawyers for the former MPs opposed the application, insisting the commission per its act was not required to partake in discussions over salaries and wages due Article 71 office holders. Gifty Dechem in a ruling said the commission was dabbling in matters its act precludes it from doing so. Former MP for Bolgatanga David Apasera, who is among 40 pursuing the matter, explains the relief they are seeking.
We are grateful to the court. We are grateful because we know that they are not supposed to be part of it. They are simply trying to flout the law that establishes them. Because the law that establishes them says they are to implement public service emolument, except Article 71 office holders. And this one concerns Article 71 office holders. So they have no locus. They have no locus. They've only succeeded in wasting our time. But we are happy that the judge has thrown them out. The thing is, you are entitled to pension. And the pension every month is a meager amount of 2,000 something. For a former member of parliament who has devoted his life to serve the nation so selflessly, for 80 years for more. And then he comes out and you say he shouldn't. In some of the countries, the former members take 40% of a certain MP's salary as pension. Others take 60%. And ours was only 20%, which is modest. Modest for only 20 years. After 20 years, you're no longer entitled. So when people think that we are taking too much, I don't believe so. I don't think that is right.
Hearing of the matter continues on May 3.
Minister of the Interior Ambrose Derry has called on the Lebanese ambassador to Ghana to call to order some of their nationals who abuse their Ghanaian workers to desist from the act. One of such incidents is the assault of a Ghanaian employee by a branch manager of the Moako restaurant here in Accra. Mr. Derry says though the Lebanese contribute to Ghana's economy, they still have to follow the country's laws.
In the course of my work as Minister for the Interior, I have encountered many Lebanese nationals with positive credentials. Many of them have made substantial investments in the economy of the country, and I know that some Lebanese families have been in Ghana over 100 years and are practically Ghanaian in all respects. While most can be identified, like majority of you today, positively impacting the economy of Ghana, unfortunately others are also gaining notoriety for all manner of negative conduct and behavior. I take this opportunity to call on the Lebanese community in Ghana, which is positive, to call to order their members, giving them a bad image. They should join the rest of the Lebanese community, which have a positive impact in Ghana. I am specifically talking about alleged mistreatment of Ghanaian workers who are in their employ. This must stop.
The Lebanese ambassador to Ghana, Ali Halabi, has meanwhile cautioned members of the community to adhere to Ghanaian laws, promising not to shield any Lebanese who falls foul of the law.
Contrary to what the media said, I will not say anything before the court give its judgment, and we trust 100% the Ghanaian judiciary, and they will give the fair and right judgment, and we will obey to it. At least we have 1,000 Lebanese active enterprise working. They are hiring more than 300,000 Ghanaian workers, and the value of the Lebanese investments in Ghana are more than $2 billion. So when you have 8,000 people, if you have few cases, it's nothing, you see. But this is why there is the police, this is why there is the courts and the judicial system to punish who should be punished and to say, to give everybody his rights.
Local miners at Bani in the Tatlinse district of the Upper East region continue to insist the blast which caused the mine accident that killed 7 of their colleagues last Thursday was deliberately carried out by a Chinese mining firm working in the area. Speaking to Joy News Monday, the miners said the concession they were working is an established small-scale mine and not an illegal mine as being speculated. They said the Chinese mine had communicated a blasting time of between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. every day, which the local miners know and always stick to in order to stay safe. They have a say on the day of the accident, the Chinese mine carried out a surprise blast at after 4 p.m., resulting in the deaths of the 7.
The Bani community of the Upper East region here in the Tatlinse district, this is the place where a mine accident took away the lives of some 7 miners last Thursday. Police have been investigating this issue, but the area is not so friendly because there are a lot of insects when you are standing here. Earlier on, we met the youth of the community. Some of them were there on the day of the mine accident, and we were trying to talk to them. Unfortunately, most of them were not so comfortable about talking to us on camera. And so before we could set up to speak to them, they took their motorbikes and left here. Wanted to go with them to the mining site and speak to them and try to find out exactly what happened at the place. Unfortunately, they are telling us that because of the accident, a lot of them have vacated the place, mainly for fear of, the fact that police are still investigating the case and possibly some of them could get picked up by police. And so as we speak, nobody is at the mine. It is a wall fence with a main gate which has now been locked, and so they are not even willing to take us to the place. But those of them who spoke to us a while ago were just telling us about how it happened. Now, what they are saying is that they know that usually the Chinese carry out their blast between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 midday. And so that is the time that they know. And usually they will go underground to do their own mining work after that time, from 2 p.m. thereabout. But on that particular day, the Chinese decided that, they decided to carry out their blast around 4 p.m. And that is how some of them got trapped.
They killed 7 of our brothers.
Okay, and since they died, what has been happening?
They have not showed any concern.
But have you continued to work at the place?
No, we stopped, but they are still working. The new company which is coming, they even showed their concern. They have not even settled on a block on Bane community. But they give us a car to carry our brothers off to the various houses. And I learned that Friday they'll be coming to the various houses to greet them. But since our brothers died, Sanzini have not showed any concern. So Sanzini has no use to the community. They have to sack them. They were saying that they are thieves. And they are not thieves. Who were there before they came? But if I may say, they intentionally killed them because that was not their blasting time. So they just wanted to blast and kill them.
Now, from the narration they are giving, the mining area is such that everybody has an underground pit where they work, and some way, somehow, there are some channels underground that creates some link between one pit and the other. And also, it creates the opportunity for them to get some ventilation underground. And so, if a blast happens to happen in one of the pits, the possibility of the smoke going into another pit is very high. And that is how the incident happened. They are accusing the Shanxi Mining Company, where they are claiming the blast happened, of deliberately carrying out the blast because for some time now there has been some friction between the local people and the Chinese mining company, and that is why the Chinese did that purposely, because they want to stop them from continuing to work. Nobody is going to do anything to anybody.
Even now you rescue them, you were not part of them.
Right, you're watching Joy News Prime. We're going back to our earlier story, which has to do with a clash, Konkumba, the clash at the Konkumba Yam Market between the Konkumba and Dagomba ethnic groups. It all happened near Agbogloshi here, the Agbogloshi market here in Accra. A pregnant woman who was shot in the chest is said to be in critical condition. Now, the police has been speaking to the issue. Let's go over now and listen to what DSP Sifas Arthur has been saying.
To manage the situation. In the course of time, we realized that the tension was still brewing, and then it was threatening to blow up. So reinforcement was called to come and manage the situation. A few skirmishes have taken place, and people getting injured and other things. But as it stands now, the police, together with their military counterparts, are in charge, and the situation is under control. We are deployed here heavily. We are going to be here for as long as it will take us to bring total peace to the place.
Now, there are conflicting reports already. What exactly caused what has happened, or what information have you picked up initially?
It is early days yet for anybody to put a finger on the cause. I mean, there will be allegation flying all over, but then for police officers, you don't deal with allegation. We need to give information of veracity to the general public. So we don't want to go by any of such allegations until such a time that we have investigated and got exactly what ignited the disturbances. We don't want to hazard any guess.
Have you had any record of casualties?
We have records, or we have reports of injuries, some critical. For now, we are yet to have any confirmation of fatality.
So nobody is dead?
We are yet to have any confirmation of any fatality.
Because the information we have is that 4 people are dead, and obviously people are anxious. There are relatives who want to know what is exactly happening here.
We can't confirm that at all. We can't confirm 4 dead. We have some fatalities. Some persons are reported to be in critical condition, but none has been confirmed dead yet. And until such a time that it is confirmed, there have even been reports that some 2 persons were feared dead. The allegation remains merely an allegation until such a time that there's a confirmation from a competent person, a competent professional. We want to assure the general public that we haven't had any confirmation of any fatality.
Have you made any arrests?
We have made 1 arrest, my information indicates, and we are making the effort to get some more persons. It is quite murky, but before long, the police will come out with a lot of arrests.
This place is a violence-prone area, and the police obviously has had or witnessed incidents of people clashing over the least provocation.
Yes.
Does this suggest that you don't have men or intel on the ground, and for which reason these things will happen?
You know that we have a police station even on the ground. There's a police station here. And we pick pieces of intelligence every now and then. And so, even for the very fact that you've not been hearing clashes here and there means that some intelligence is working. Except that once in a while it will blow up. And that is everywhere. I mean, even in the higher democracies, they have all the best of intelligence agencies, but we still have incidents happening. So we have intelligence, we have men on the ground, and it is the reason why we're able to, quell a more serious happening here. Because we had information early, the police sent a stabilizing team here to locate them here, and it ensured that we brought the situation under control before, when it got worse, reinforcement was brought.
The conversation I've been monitoring around suggests that the police perhaps is sleeping on the job, because there have been incidents where people suggest that or conclude that the police is always taken by surprise, and the signal that is going out there may not be the best for the image of the institution. What's your reaction to this?
At all, that is not true.
Indeed, to add up to what he says, this afternoon we understand that some of the police persons that were present could not deal with the crisis. They had to retreat and call for reinforcement. And earlier on in the day, they were here in the morning. And in the afternoon, they came back and were not adequately in position to deal with these guys who had weapons. How do you react to this?
It is always part of police operational strategies to call for reinforcement. Once you see that the challenge is becoming enormous, you need to call for reinforcement. And it will be unprofessional on the part of any police institution not to call for reinforcement once the challenge that they are facing becomes magnified. So calling for reinforcement is not any bad thing at all. On the contrary, it is a wise police decision to call for reinforcement.
No. Talking about intelligence, has it come to your notice, as residents have said, that they've witnessed some pickups move into the Kokumba slums through its back street with some weapons in the bucket of the pickups? Has this intelligence come to you? They've been coming around and informing the security personnel. Yeah, I've witnessed them say that. What do you know about this?
You see, it's not everything that we can share with the public like this. You see, some, as the saying goes, some things are for men only. Some information, some pieces of information are for only the security agencies. And once we get our intelligence, we assess it, we evaluate it, and we work put measures in place to ensure that we're able to quell any situation, bring any situation under control. So I will not be able to share every information with you. But I can tell you that we have a very vibrant intelligence apparatus in place.
That is where people disagree, because in as much as the respect is there that the institution has very professional criminal investigators or people who can pick intel on the ground, you are almost always taken by surprise. We had an incident in Kumasi recently. There have been other related incidents, and this obviously is going to buttress public criticism of what you do in terms of your operations.
We tend to overblow the issue of intelligence. Intelligence is very critical in policing.
Right, so you had the police there briefing newsmen about the clashes at the Gunkumba Yam Market. And we have our man Favor Nunu. He's still standing by there, and he will be bringing us details, updates as and when they become available. But right now we're taking a break. We'll bring you business news next.
Thanks for joining me on Business. Good evening. The Ministry of Finance has begun work to improve insurance regulation in the country. This will be done through the enactment of the Financial Inclusions Regulation Act 2017, which is expected to boost confidence in the industry. Speaking to Joy Business at the 4th Life Insurance Conference in Accra, Deputy Finance Minister Abna Osei-Sari disclosed that the insurance penetration level in Ghana is still very low and needs improvement.
Insurance penetration in Ghana remains low due to what some industry players say is a lack of confidence in the sector. The new Financial Inclusion Act yet to be passed will, among others, help to enhance policy initiatives in the insurance sector. Deputy Minister of Finance Abna Osei-Sari hinted that a new financial inclusion regulation will give a boost to the already existing laws regulating the insurance sector.
They are working on it. It's at various levels of development, and once it comes through, it will go to Parliament, and we hope that it will be passed, and so that it will get a proper framework, regulatory framework, so that as we are hoping to increase the insurance base of this country, or of life insurance, we will also safeguard the investment that people do.
The issue of micro-insurance was also raised at the conference, and stakeholders expressed confidence the regulation will work on strengthening such firms. Larry Bauer is the commissioner of the National Insurance Commission.
Market with the law by adding it to our new bill, the new bill, not act. We already have an act. So, but we're working on a bill to incorporate the new developments that have come. So for now, we don't even have a company that can sell just microinsurance. It has to be a window within the old companies. But I want to get to where you can set up a company just to sell microinsurance. But we've set out, they're already selling. We started from 2011. We started from 2011 when we had about 11 companies underwriting. Now we have about 13 companies underwriting microinsurance. Then we had 6 products. Now we have 29 products. In 2011, we're covering 1.7 lives. Now we are covering 3.7, and we are still counting.
She also used the opportunity to encourage insurance companies to make use of available technology in order to get more people insured. This year's 4th National Life Insurance Conference is under the theme, Extending Coverage of Life Insurance in Ghana, a Collective Responsibility.
The reconstituted board of GCB Bank has appointed an astute banker and lawyer, Anselm Raymond Sowa, as a new managing director of the bank. He takes over from Mauli Agbeshi, who stepped down as MD of the bank last week. But who is Mr. Sowa? The following Business Desk report has more.
According to GCB, Mr. Sowa was a banker in the City of London for 30 years and worked extensively in Ghana Commercial Bank, London, Ghana International Bank, and Bank of Montreal, all in London. He has also held senior management positions in compliance, international trade finance, retail banking, and business development in the UK capital market. He has also played lead roles in the cocoa syndication loans for Cocoa Board, and he also helped with the development of new correspondent banking relationships throughout West Africa and structured finance for crude oil purchases for Ghana. Mr. Sowa attended Mfantsipim School, Cape Coast, and has a BA Honours degree in English and Philosophy from the University of Ghana.
He's a barrister of law and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Ghana and member of British Bankers Association, Business Council for Africa and Association of Foreign Banks, all in London.
And away from that, the Agric Ministry says it will turn to the Bank of Ghana to ensure the production and payments to cocoa farmers do not suffer this year crop season. Now, this follows fears that Cocoa Board may be struggling to meet its financial obligations following the depletion of the $2.2 billion cocoa loan facility. Deputy Agric Minister William Kwetu, in an interview with Joy Business, says there are several measures being considered, including raising funds from local banks.
And in my ministry, I guess that we're going to be very serious with whatever we do, particularly with production and then anything that has to do with anybody's relationship with farmers. If you go in to buy cocoa, we don't want a situation of going to credit and then some people even run away, collect the cocoa and run away without paying farmers. And next time you see the company there closed, they can't be asked, no, it wasn't our company that was here. So many questions. If we find anything of that sort with them, I think that the rules will be applied.
Oh, no, but there's also a question about, just like in the oil industry, whether it's good to allow these manufacturing giants to also directly buy from farmers, and that there should be other intermediaries because they could end up dictating the prices and all those things. What do you make of this concern that is out there?
Yes, I think that in your prelude to this question, you made mention that the syndicated loan is becoming a challenge now. Yes, and so if you don't act fast, there may come a time that maybe Ghana will go onto that market and will not be able to source that loan. And if you are not able to source for that loan, some of those companies that are quite small may not even find the money to go out there and buy the cocoa. And so it is important that we all come to the table and think of how this challenge will be resolved. So if you allow such big companies to come and buy, of course, they are buying in accordance with the rules and regulations that we have established. They are not going to come with their own set of rules. No. Once it is a Ghanaian established company and they are able to meet all the regulations, processes, I think they call about to be given a license. But what I mean is, being a giant, I mean, as we see them, does not mean that they should come and flout the rules and get away with it. No, we won't allow that. We are still in the teething stages where we are even thinking of amending the laws to put Cocoa Board under the purview of the Ministry of Agric. Of course, with the finances, since Ministry of Finance has that, to me, that knowledge, it will still remain with Ministry of Finances. In fact, the laws of this country say that if any ministry wants to go for any loan, you have to go through Ministry of Finance to do that. And so if the management of cocoa in Ghana comes under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Agric, we're going to concentrate on the production. But the financial aspect, if we want to do anything, of course, the engineering will have to be done with Ministry of Finance.
Commodities trading group Cargill Chocolate and Cocoa is promising farmers better price for their produce as it starts buying cocoa beans directly from farmers. The commodities trading group today formally outlawed its license, which allows it to purchase cocoa beans from farmers in the country. President of the Cargill Cocoa and Chocolate Group, Harold Palmer, said the company is using some innovative financial platforms to ensure farmers get their monies on time.
We are a cocoa processor since 10 years here in Ghana, since we built our factory in Tema in 2008. It's important for the future of cocoa that we make sure that farmers are successful. For a good cocoa sector to thrive, we need the farmers to thrive as well. Today, farmers have many challenges, and we believe that we can help them become more successful and to become true business partners for Cargill. We've done similar activities also in other countries like Côte d'Ivoire, for instance, where we helped farmers aggregate to farmer groups or cooperatives. We also set up training for farmers and working with other stakeholders to make sure they become successful. If you look at a cocoa farm in general, we believe the potential for the yield per hectare is substantial, which would also mean a substantial increase in income for the farmers, but also to make sure that cocoa quality is very good and that here in Ghana, which is always known for the best quality of cocoa, stays at the absolute top level in the world.
Small-scale mining industry must rather be developed to continue to contribute meaningfully to economic development. The call comes as the decision to crack down on illegal miners still stands. Chief Executive Dr. Tony Oben argues licensed small-scale miners are making significant contributions to the economy and could be maximized if well managed.
There have been calls for a ban on small-scale mining in general to effectively tackle the illegal mining or galamsey menace. The Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Dr. Tony Oben, however, argues the economic contribution of licensed small-scale miners has been increasing over the years, even though with some challenges.
Just in the early part of the 90s, seriously, small-scale mining production was very negligible, very small. You won't see it on the graph. Now, small-scale mining production is about 1/3 of the entire gold production in the country, and for diamonds, 100% is produced by small-scale miners. Now, the problem with gold is that when we sell the gold, we don't find out where you produce your gold from. You see, so among those who are producing, you have those in the illegal mining sector, which are producing and legitimately selling. That's a challenge because the law does not require the buyer to ask the source of the gold.
The Minerals Commission has in the last 2 years been implementing a program to license especially illegal miners. Dr. Oben says the current clampdown on illegal mining should rather facilitate this initiative.
The way we are trying to address the illegal mining issues now will help what we are trying to do, to the extent that we will be able to take out those who are doing it illegally and even encourage them to do it in the fold of the law. Because, you know, we need to cease the bleeding. We need to stop those who are doing it illegally. And then we can say that, look, we are recategorizing. We now allow people to go into partnership. We now allow people to get bigger space. And then we would now require that every small-scale mining entity must have qualified geologists and qualified mining engineer to help them design proper mining practice.
Over 1,000 small-scale mining licenses have been issued so far. Government has expressed satisfaction with the level of progress made in the crackdown on illegal operators as the 3-week ultimatum draws to a close.
And that's it for business for tonight. Thank you very much for watching and keep watching. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Riafi. Good evening.
The recent Kintampo waterfalls tragedy, which claimed at least 19 lives, though very unfortunate, may just be what could help revolutionize the sector's approach to public safety. The Ghana Tourism Authority, following the incident, says it is working on providing insurance cover for all tourists who visit such sites so that they will be compensated in the event anything untoward happens. Though the initiative is expected to be fully rolled out in a month, the authority says there will be insurance cover for all patrons of Easter festivities under its auspices, beginning with the Kwewu event this weekend. Anodame has more.
The Kintampo tragedy got the public wondering how safe the country's tourist attractions are and who is ensuring that there are some basic safety protocols observed. Such fears will often translate into a reduction in patronage with implications for revenue. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority explains it is in the light of these concerns that it is coming up with the initiative.
Not just because of Kintampo, it's something that we were working on with Glyco, and we've just had to work out the numbers to give public liability insurance for all tourist attractions. And so because the negotiation has stalled or delayed a bit, that's why we're coming out with this package for just Easter. Right after Easter, we'll announce what covers all the other attractions. So it's something that will come out in at least maximum in a month's time.
He explains the patrons of this Easter's festivities will be the first beneficiaries of the insurance package from Glyco, which is worth 100,000 cedis for the 3-day period.
This year there are a few things that are new, chief among them being an insurance cover for people who will be going to Kwawu for the paragliding event. But I'll stand on that to assure the general public that the fact that we are adding insurance to paragliding doesn't mean that it's not a safe event. This event has been going on for 12 years and there's been no incident. But in case any unfortunate incident happens, there's a fallback for you.
Mr. Ajuman also revealed the authority is pushing for a legislative instrument that will regulate all tourist attractions so that revenue generation will be centralized for better management. He explains this is particularly necessary as some sites are operating despite not meeting the minimum standards required because the municipalities, metropolitans and district chief executives are the ones in charge. Such an ally, according to him, will enable the authority upgrade orphaned and dilapidated sites by bringing in private funding. For Joy News, my name is Hannah Odami.
In a related development, the Paragliding Festival, which has now become a major part of the Easter festivities at Kwawu in the Eastern region, continues to enjoy massive patronage as people turn up in droves for the thrill of being weightless in the sky. The international pilots brought in for the event, however, believe Ghana could transform the festival into a global attraction with a bit more aggressive marketing. Etienne, the lead pilot for the event, tells Joy News for the over 10 years that he's been involved, he's yet to see paragliding enjoy the kind of patronage seen at Kwawu.
You've been flying this for 11 years in Ghana?
I've been flying for 12 years in Ghana.
12 years, actually, okay.
12 years in Ghana.
And how's the experience been?
Experience has been fantastic. Ghana is one of the best places in the world that we've experienced because the flying is very consistent, very enjoyable experience for the passengers as well as the pilots.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's really.
Apart from Ghana, where else do you fly? Is it just in your country?
No, we go throughout the world. We've been, well, both of us been throughout the world, although our hearts are in Ghana.
Okay. So you've been eating our fufu and granite soup and peanut butter soup, everything?
Yeah, everything.
Great.
Everything.
Banku.
Oh, yeah.
Do you come to Ghana only when we're celebrating Easter?
Yeah, we've come a few other times. We love flying here because it's very consistent, and the hospitality of the GTA and the people of Ghana make it really special flying here. But it's pretty unique. There's no other event in the world like the Easter Festival that goes on here.
Meaning you've been traveling a lot of places, and this is the one
Yeah, most of the team and myself, we've all flown all over the world, but this event is absolutely unique to the world. There's nothing like it.
So you must be very excited to be part of this.
I'm very excited, and I think Ghana should be very proud of the event. I mean, it has a great safety record and a lot of happy people. The quality of the flying is really great, so it's really good to be here.
So if he's talking about the safety record and the excitement flying in Ghana, how do we make this international so that we get a lot of more tourists coming in, not from other parts of the world?
Oh, well, we need, first of all, to get the word out to the rest of the world, number one. And number two, we need to expand the launch area so it's bigger and more user-friendly for more people to fly. Right now, we can only take off one or two at a time. If we had expanded the launch a little bit, we could at least double, possibly triple that number.
Okay, you talked about getting the word out there in the international world. How do you think we can do that, since you have been flying all over the world?
Oh, publicity. Sure. That would be a question for the marketing department.
Yeah, but you have seen it, so how vigorous should we go with that?
Well, I think the word has to get out. We do put the word out whenever we fly different areas, what it's like, but there's nothing, as Chuck said, there's nothing to compare.
Okay.
Watching Joy News Prime Time now for a look at our top stories. 2 people are feared dead in the bloody Kumkumba Dagomba clash at Agbogloshi here in Accra. A pregnant woman who was shot in the clash is said to be in critical condition. 13 members of pro-MPP vigilante group Delta Force fined 2,400 cedis each after they were arraigned on Tuesday on a fresh charge of escaping lawful custody. Accra High Court denies request by Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to be joined in a suit in which 40 former members of Parliament, including current Senior Minister Yasafu Manfo and acting chair of the governing MPP Freddie Play, are claiming over 230,000 cedis in pensions from the state. In business, Ministry of Finance moves to pass new Financial Inclusion Act to improve insurance regulation and penetration in the country and to boost confidence in the industry. Patrons of tourist sites to enjoy insurance cover starting this Easter as Ghana Tourism Authority works to enhance safety following Kintampo Waterfalls tragedy. An opinion leader who has been involved in stakeholder meetings over clashes between residents of Paragliding in the Volta region and a salt mining company there is accusing the company of shortchanging its workers, many of whom are residents. According to Benedictus Kweku Amaduma, the company has failed to pay their workers net contributions whilst also paying them below minimum wage salaries. He wants the government to intervene for peace to prevail.
They want employment. Apart from that, they want a better living condition for the people because the people were living better off before they came into the community. And as soon as they entered the community, the livelihood of people have been taken away. So what they expect is that you agree to resort to seawater for the purposes of your mining. So what they should normally do is to go back to your normal promise that you gave to the people to use the seawater for the purposes of mining so that the people can have water to drink. And apart from that, about 70% of the pipe for the village is connected to the mining company, and the people are left with for nothing. And now we feel that government has to come in to do something about this particular thing because we've had several confrontations with the community that has led to their equipment being destroyed. We have lost some lives, and this shouldn't continue.
What do you want government to do? When you say you want government to intervene in this matter, you've already indicated that there have been some stakeholder meetings. Exactly what do you want government to do now as members of the community? We
feel that the community is not part or is not party to the agreement that the government entered with the industry, and so the government should take a look at the agreement that has signed with the people, because the government represents the interests of the people, and so decisions taken by government should be in the best interest of the people. The people are saying that the company is not serving them well. Their livelihood has been so poorer than before, and so the government should see to it, or should sit the government, should sit the company down and ensure that the company employs the people from the community and that SNIT contributions are taken care of by the few who are working there, and that the people abide by our labor laws. They should not be, the workers should not be paid below the minimum wage.
There's been very poor turnout at the rescheduled district assembly elections in the Nkranza North and South District of the Brunhafu region on Tuesday. The Electoral Commission had to postpone the election in the two constituencies after the electorate boycotted the exercise in September 2015 over the loss of the investment in the DKM microfinance scam. The residents at the time went as far as invoking curses against EC officials who would attempt setting up polling centers, compelling the officials to call off the elections until further notice. Correspondent Anas Sabit reports that not even the reversal of the curse by fetish priests in the area could convince the residents to turn up.
As you can see, they're not coming in their numbers, but at least they're coming one after the other.
So the turnout, how far? How many have you?
So far, we've already about 20 people have cast their votes out of 386 registered members.
What do you think could be the cause of the low turnout?
Yeah, you know, today is market day in Kranza here. Today is market day, so you know, actually, these people, they are market people. So you know, some have they have already gone to the market.
So you're sure they will come in the evening?
Oh, we are praying that they should come.
Selling framed portraits of half-naked women appears to be catching on in Accra, in the streets of Accra in recent times. Such portraits are often sold by the young men in traffic, with men appearing to be the main target. Patricia Gasu was at Achimota here in Accra to find out more about these paintings.
Can you tell me a little about this? This one? Yeah.
This one, it shows all it talks about love.
Okay.
Yeah. It talks about all about love.
I will go with this one. But I don't know if you have something more erotic than this.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but I need something diagonal like that, not rectangle, because where I'm putting it is where I'm putting it is just a diagonal.
Paintings easily attract people, so it's not a wonder that these young men have stopped to have to feast their eyes on the ones here. But they are not alone. Commuters who ply this route usually park their cars to either buy or just watch. It appears everyone, including these people, love to see these paintings. It's break time at school, and seeing these paintings will occupy their time at least for the next 15 minutes.
Anytime I see something that is beautiful, I just take it. When you come to my place, I really love them. Yeah.
So let's come to this particular.
In the environment. I really love this woman standing in the water just because of the environment. You know, it's like it's part of art. Yeah, you know.
So let's talk about this one.
Actually,
this particular one.
Actually, I really love the picture, but you know, to put something short in my room, I have some God-loving people coming to me. Okay. You know, the moment that they say something like it's art, to me, from the bottom of my heart, it's cool for me. Yeah. You know, but I don't know somebody, so I know where to keep this picture if I had it. I'll take it in my bedroom, but it's cool for me. Okay, so yeah.
This will be in the hall.
I really love this because of the kids in the village environment. You know, now the area is developed. If you don't have money, you can't go far away to see the design, the beauty of the world, you know. So it's good that you see something like this anytime in your room.
Okay, and finally, okay, I think last but one, you have this, you have this picture, and then you have
I had a daughter.
That.
I had a daughter who really resembled this girl. She's good. She always loved art. Okay. So at the moment, she's not in the country. She's learning medicine outside, you know. So the moment I see this, I really love to have something in my room. And something like this. You know, I usually go to a village, a place like Yeji, you know, traveling around the water side and the lake side, you know.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like these pictures because if you lose appetite in your wife and you watch these pictures, it can ginger you to, your morale will come back. Because if you look at these pictures, how the ties showing on their breasts with the bees. Maybe your wife don't put bees. So as soon as you bring the picture with the bees, you say, hey, my husband starts chasing bees pictures. Then I have to put bees on my waist.
There are varied reasons why these men love these paintings. There are others who cannot buy the paintings because their spouses abhor them. Their reason? They see these paintings as competitors.
Yeah, I bought a picture, something like this one. The one showing her breast. As soon as I took the picture in my house, my wife said, hey, what kind of picture is that? When did you start buying these pictures? So you just put this picture under our bed. When I want to buy these pictures. Even my phone, I need these pictures on my phone. But my wife, as soon as I go home, you just flipping your phone and say, what is picture is this? What picture is this? It's not bad for me to, I'm not a bad person, but she denied me to not use the pictures.
The seller of these paintings is hopeful the demand for them will increase.
A lot of people like those naked ones. Yeah, a lot. Yes, even those old men, most of them, they prefer that one. Yeah, they prefer that one. That's why we do that one differently. At times, most of the people come here and buy it and put it inside their hotels and then some maybe their business places. The first, that was the olden days. The one they demanded more, those inspiration messages. Yes. And later on, we decided to change it, to make those people. At times when we were there, some people bring their pictures. Oh, I want this type of picture. I want you to do this type of picture for me because I like that one. I prefer that one. At times some people come, oh, do this one for me. I want to give it to my wife. I want to give it to my girlfriend. A lot. That's why we do this one.
The driver of the truck blamed for Monday's fire at the Kumasi Central Market has handed himself in to the police. 49-year-old Awudu Karim turned up at the Mensha Divisional Police Command after he had been declared wanted. He has since confessed to ignoring police warning, resulting in the incident. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin's report.
According to the police, Karim disappeared from the scene after refusing to heed advice by an officer not to force his way into the area.
When the incident happened, it was only one policeman who was here. And as my brother said, he was trying to control the crowd so that the fire attendants could come in. So he couldn't take advantage of that to know him. But, you know, with police investigative acumen, it's likely that we are going to get anybody who matters to help us in our investigation. And trust us, we will do that.
Meanwhile, a number of security officials and political figures earlier Tuesday visited the scene to ascertain the extent of damage. They include Mensha Divisional Commander, Metro Fire Commander, and Member of Parliament for Subin, Eugene Boachi-Entwi. The Asante Achim Rural Bank reduced its losses as officials managed to safely keep all cash before the fire spread. Joy News checks reveal most traders have not insured their goods, hence their concerns. MP for the area, Eugene Boachi-Entwi, expressed sympathy towards the affected traders.
You can tell that the whole building is bent to a frazzle. I mean, goods worth hundreds of thousands of Ghana cedis have been bent, and I mean it's very unfortunate. But there must be finality to these perennial or say frequent fire disasters hitting our markets across the country.
Metro Fire Commander Rashid Nismau expressed regret and lamented about how access routes remains a major impediment to firefighting, especially at the Kumasi Central Market. Mensha Police Commander Superintendent Adani Nyameche Ameya wants residents to abide by basic of fire safety to avoid future occurrence.